time move here, Gary.
Talk about elevating and linger. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer on this team.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. It's your boy, Mel from Queens Sports Talk, and you listening to WGJSradio.com. That's WGJSradio.com. So, look, we got another Monday morning here, man. We talking sports, man. You know, it was a great day. You know, well, it wasn't too much of a great day because, you know, my Giants lost, but they 6-2, so they in a lot better place than where I expect them to be. So I could rock with that. I'm cool with that. So I'm just excited, man, that well, I was excited because I thought we was gonna win yesterday, but you know, Geno Smith, you know, he did his thing, man. I'm not gonna hate on, you know, Geno Smith. You know, he showed up. You know, he did his thing. You know, he was with the Giants before, man. And I always said that he got blackballed. I always felt like, you know, he was better than what they played. But I felt like New York didn't want a black quarterback. He got blackballed with the Jets. Every time his opportunities was about to come, something happened. And you know how the media is. Once the media get involved, you know, it kind of just goes downhill from there. But then from there, he went to the Giants. And, you know, the one time they put him in, it was during the time when Eli was, you know, kind of, the Giants wasn't doing well. Eli wasn't holding it down for the Giants. So they threw in Geno. And he got so much backlash, man, from the media, man. So they went with Eli because Eli's perfect starting record was broken. I'm a big Eli fan, man. I rock with Eli as a Giants fan, even though he got away with, you know, that memorabilia stuff, man. You know what I mean? Charging people. I don't know if anybody else would have got away with that. The Mannings, man, they got away with a lot of stuff in their careers, man. So that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother, you know, conversation. But I was, you know, I'm not a hater. I always spoke about Geno Smith. I always spoke highly of him. And I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's like a Hall of Fame great quarterback, but he's definitely a good quarterback. I think he's better than just a game manager, you know, type quarterback, than the way people make him out to be. And I think he's showing right now, like, what he can really do. So, you know, shouts out to Seattle. You know, I ain't want them to win, but they won. You know, it is what it is. Giants are 6-2. Philly, man, they still rolling though, man. They 7-0, man. Like, they doing their thing, man. I don't know how long that's gonna last. Hopefully it don't last too long, but they got a solid team. San Fran is solid, man. I think they just picked up the guy from the Panthers, McCaffrey. You know what I mean? So, you know, they trying to make moves over there. So they're not just sitting around waiting. I don't think anybody else in the NFC. I'm worried about. I don't think I'm worried about too many teams. I think the NFC is it's still wide open. Even though Philly is the best team, Seattle is doing well, and you got the 49ers. With the Giants, I feel like this could be one of those magical moments where it's a possibility that if we get in the playoffs and anything could happen. You know, trade deadline is still around the corner. We might pick up another receiver or something like that, man. You know, we can use it. Saquon been balling out this year, doing his thing, so I'm happy about that. You know, so it is what it is with the Giants. When it comes to the Jets, yo, man. Now, New England, they started off slow, but they've been on the roll the last few weeks. I felt like the Jets should have won that game, but they lost. So you're going to have a lot of unhappy Jets fans out there right now, man. I know a few of them, man. You know, they lost. So the Jets lost. You know, they lost to the New England Patriots. So let's go. I'm just want to just go over some scores right now. The Ravens, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, the Giants lost to the Seattle Seahawks 27-13. Broncos, they beat the Jaguars 21-17. Listen, man, this whole Russell Wilson hate, it's be crazy, man. It's like, even with former players, they be like, oh, his defense. Let me say this to the Marshawn Lynch, the Richard Sherman. Listen, man, y'all be too many people hate on Russell Wilson for no reason, because at the end of the day, Y'all had the Legion of Boom before Russell Wilson got there. Y'all had Marshawn Lynch, and y'all ain't win nothing. So y'all can talk that talk if y'all want to, but that year when y'all won the Super Bowl, Russell Wilson was amazing in the playoffs, man. He was amazing in the playoffs. He made plays that saved drives. Of course, you give Beast Mode was the go-to guy, of course, but that doesn't negate what Russell Wilson brought to the team. Russell Wilson was a beast. He was a beast his whole career. Even that year when they won the Super Bowl, even the year when they lost the Super Bowl, I personally feel like Belichick knew the play because the guy that got the interception, he's a former Seattle Seahawks player. So he kind of read the play. I think he called the play out. He jumped the play. That's how he got the interception. I'm not going to say what I probably would have gave it to Beast Mode. Yes. Was that play a good play because of Russell Wilson? Yes. So we could talk that talk all we want about, Beast Mode. I think the thing is that it was an interception, but I personally think that New England, man, they had some type of idea what was going on, man. I ain't gonna put it past Belichick, man. But it is what it is. The Panthers lost again. The Falcons beat them 37-34. The Cowboys, man, Dak is back. He's looking like strong. He had a strong last week. He had a strong this week. That's what I'm forgetting about. I'm not even gonna lie. At the end of the day, I think our biggest threat might be Dallas. I don't care what other teams looking at, but Dallas, man, they just, from top to bottom, they probably one of the best constructed teams in the NFL. You know what I mean? We can't deny that. We can't hate. As much as I like the Giants, I can't hate and deny that. But a lot of people, and which I don't know if it's fair or not, McCarthy, they try to say he's going to be the reason that they fold in the end. But he won the Super Bowl with Green Bay, so people need to kill that noise because he showed that he can do it. A lot of coaches haven't shown that yet, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I hope they don't do it because I rock with the Giants, and we don't need the Dallas Cowboys winning the championship before the Giants win another championship. The Dolphins beat the Lions 31-27. The Vikings beat the Cardinals 34-26. And the Saints finally won. They beat the well, I'm not saying they finally won, but they were struggling the last few weeks. But they won 24-0 against the Raiders. I don't know what's going on there. I told you about the Eagles beat the Steelers. This is Mike Tomlin. This is going to be his first losing season because the way it's looking, it don't look like it's getting any better from right now. So this will be he was the first the first coach to coach as many years without having any losing season. So it looks like this is going to be his year. The Titans, they beat the Texans 17-10. The Commanders won 17-14 against the Colts. I need the Commanders to start losing again, man. I only want to worry about the Cowboys and the Eagles. I don't want to have to worry about if we lose another game that the Commanders could catch us. So I don't know. The 49ers, they beat the Rams 31-14, man. The Rams, I don't know what's going on with them, man. They ain't looking like no Super Bowl champions, man. Like they trying to defend. It's like they get cool now. Sometimes, some players, they win and they get comfortable. And some teams get comfortable like, we did our part. That's what I see where the Rams is right now. It seems like they just comfortable now. They got their championship. Matthew Stafford, he got the monkey off his back. So it's like nobody's really putting pressure on them. So there's really nothing for them to play for. I'm trying to be funny, except to play just for themselves. So it is what it is. The Packers is still looking like trash. They lost to the Bills. The Bills is looking solid right now. In the AFC, I think it's going to come down to the AFC, the Bills, and the Chiefs again. I think that's to me that's the matchup in the AFC. It's going to come down to the Bills, and it's going to come down to the Chiefs. Yeah, and it's going to be winner take all. And they got this narrative. They ready for Josh Allen? They ready for him to just take the torch right now and just be the next Tom Brady and promote him and just do away with everybody. He's a good quarterback. He's definitely doing his thing. But I ain't counting the Chiefs out, man. Yeah, that boy Patrick Mahomes is just on another level. It's just certain players, man. Patrick Mahomes, he just on a whole nother level. You know, Allen is nice, but Patrick Mahomes, man. So I don't know. You know, it is what it is. It was a great weekend in football. But now we got to talk a little basketball as well. See, I've been saying for 2 years, let's talk about, because we're going to get into the Kyrie. We're going to get into this whole Kyrie situation, man. But before we get there, I've been saying for 2 years, from last year, this will make the second year, bring Russell Westbrook off the bench. I've been preaching that. If you go back and watch some shows, I've been saying because LeBron and Westbrook both need the ball in their hand. It disturbs the starting lineup because let's be realistic. LeBron is a lot older, so he can't play defense like he used to play. Russell Westbrook is not a great defender. They both need the ball in their hand. And LeBron is a better shooter than Westbrook, and Westbrook is not that great of a shooter. So if LeBron got the ball in his hand, I feel like Russell Westbrook have too much idle time in that lineup. I kept saying if you bring him off the bench, he could still get his triple doubles, but now you get that burst of energy that they really did, that they needed. If you can watch the game yesterday, the Lakers bench scored 41 points. And I believe that's probably the highest we scored this year. Westbrook, 18 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He was 2 rebounds, 2 assists away from his triple-double. He got a lot of the bench guys going. That's when Russell Westbrook is at his best. Playing with no pressure, playing with young guys, just running up and down the court, throwing lobs, getting into his bag, doing his thing. That's Russell Westbrook at his best, at his finest, and that's what the Lakers need. So now you got Lonnie Walker, you got Patrick Beverly, you got Lonnie Walker, right, as a shooter in the starting 5. And you got LeBron and AD. You got Beverly, and I believe you got Reeves in the starting lineup. That's respectable because you got firepower, you got defenders, you got flexibilities. It's not super, but the reason why I like it is because, like, AD got to play like AD. If AD is playing like AD and LeBron, for the most part, LeBron is going to be LeBron. LeBron is going to get you. I mean, unless he have a complete drop-off, right now it's looking like LeBron is going to stay on course to average at least about 25 points this year, 24, 25 points. So it's looking like he's 25, maybe 7-7, his normal numbers, which is great for LeBron. If LeBron can give you that for the rest of the season, like, here's the thing. I'm not expecting LeBron to carry the team. He may have to. I really want AD to pull up his big boy pants and say, yo, LeBron, I got this. But, of course, we know he got to be healthy. He got to be on the court. And he got to be better than everybody on the court. And when AD is on the court, I don't get that dominance that they used to talk about him, one of the top 5 plays in the NBA. I wasn't getting that. I wasn't getting that at all. So I need that. He played good for the championship. He played good, but he still had a couple injuries, but he played well. If we can get that championship AD, because going back to winning championships, excuse me, and if you want to call and give me a call, 347-410-8077, 347-410-8077. I want to hear from you as well. What you want to talk about? You listening to Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJS Radio. And, with that said, like, I think the Lakers, man, if I'm the Lakers, I'm not trading Westbrook for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. They keep throwing that out there. What I would do, this is what I feel. I would pick up Hassan Whiteside or Tristan Thompson, because they still free agents out there available. Drop one of them at the center. Move AD to the power forward. Got LeBron, Patrick Beverly, and Lonnie Walker. That's where I'm going with. I would even go to the point where possibly picking up both Hassan Whiteside and Tristan Thompson, because you need somebody that's going to bang. You need some shot blockers. You need some defenders. You need somebody that's going to be able to handle Jokic, Embiid, Gobert, players like that. DeAndre Ayton. And you can hear in Anthony Davis' voice and his tone that he's still not comfortable playing full-time center. It's sad because, LeBron played center a lot last year and showed that it's possible. And I thought that AD would be like, you know what, man, I can do this, but he's still not there yet. So I feel like when the Lakers were at their best, they had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Those were your two big men. So you started McGee or you started Howard, and you bring the other one off the bench, and you always kept an extra shot block on the floor. You always catch an extra rebound on the floor. You always had a defender on the floor. I feel like they missed that more than anything, But with that being said, we're going to transition a little bit because one of the topics of the weekend was Kyrie Irving. And the reason why Kyrie Irving, let me tell you the real reason why Kyrie Irving was the topic. It's not because of his tweet in support of a book that's turned into a film that's on Amazon in which anybody can buy, purchase, tweet, or whatever. And the media is trying to make a big deal out of it. But the reason why the media is truly making a big deal is because they owe Kyrie Irving an apology and they don't want to do it, so they rather deflect. Okay, Mel, what do you mean that they owe Kyrie an apology? Well, if you've been keeping up with New York and this whole pandemic situation and what took place with if you wasn't getting the vaccine, you would get laid off, and stuff like that, right? Well, the courts has recently made a case. A case was presented before the courts, and they pretty much said that anybody who was fired, laid off because of not getting vaccinated, they have to get their job back. They have to get their job back, and they have to get back pay. Are y'all listening? They have to get their job back, and they have to get back pay. Why is that relevant to what I'm saying right now? Because Kyrie missed part of the season because he wasn't vaccinated. So what does that mean? That means Kyrie is entitled to back pay as well. And the media don't want to talk about that because they dogged him. They talked about him like he was the worst teammate. He was selfish. They did all these things. They talked about him and they dragged him. And you notice that they hush about it now. Well, that's why you got Mel from Queen Sports Talk, WGJS Radio, because we're not going to be hush-hush on these topics. Kyrie tweeting about a film does not make him anti-Semitic. That's just that. He already broke it down, his views. He shut the media down. They was just looking for a story. Nothing was there. He did nothing wrong. He said nothing about anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. But they're trying to pick at him only because of what's going on in New York, and they don't want to talk about that. So they'd rather keep him in a negative light. But let's just all be honest. The whole mandate thing was stupid anyway. Sports teams realized it. Well, I ain't say they realized. Politics came into play once baseball came back. You know how the Yankees run the city. The Mets run the city. Baseball is just totally different. So they wasn't going to have these baseball players not playing. That's not vaccinated. And before the mandate was lifted, it was a bunch of players on the Mets and the Yankees that were not vaccinated. And they was like, nah, we ain't having that. So they lifted the mandate, in which when you lifted them, now they ain't gonna say they lifted for baseball, but we all know, we saw what happened, right? So that means Kyrie had to come back, and then you had Adam Silver speak on it and how it didn't make any sense because you had out-of-town players coming in and they were able to play. So at the end of the day, Kyrie should be getting his money back. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie stood his ground. He stood, he stood on what he believed in. And they don't want to talk about that. So they want to try to create a new controversy to keep him in light as a troublemaker. That's what they want to do, as a troublemaker and a person who's not a team player. So when the owner stepped out and said what he said, that was the owner playing politics. Why didn't the owner come out and say, hey, that the courts just said that, yo, players, people that were laid off because they didn't get the vaccine are entitled to back pay? Why is that not headlines? Why aren't they running with that through the media and stuff like that? You know why? Because they don't want Kyrie to be right. They want to keep Kyrie in a negative light, and they want him to be seen as a problem. So they create stories, and they twist narratives, and it's crazy, and it's kind of sick. But that's the world we live in. That's why y'all got to tune into shows like Mel from Queens Sports Talk. And like I say, give me a call if you want to talk about it, 347-410-8077. That's 347-410-8077. But yo, Kyrie, he's not, what they try to make him out to be. He's stand on his own too. He stand on his beliefs. We all have that right. We all entitled to do that. So they shouldn't keep bashing him. Let's say like, yo, we happy he stood his ground and he about to get that bag back. So it is what it is. Real quick, I want to shout out the women and professional sports this past week that went on from Thursday to Saturday. Amazing. Shout out to Gisette, Ajay, the whole team, everybody that was there. I didn't make it on Saturday, but I saw also Michelle Reed was in the building and so many others, man. I was there on Thursday, man, and I had a blast. Got a chance to meet some of the panel in person because they came on the show before the event. So women in professional sports, continue to support them, continue to, stay connected to what they have going on because, they got a lot going on. Also, man, I want to give a shout out to the Lux Library, always tuned in, supporting the show. Go check them out, as well. The luxlibrary.co. Check them out, as well. Got so much going on for the community. It is what it is, man. So this is your boy Mel from Queens, from Mel from Queens Sports Talk, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to catch y'all next week. And we about to matter of fact, we about to start just doing we about to be on 5 days a week, man. Podcast style. Mondays, we can do this live show. But I'm thinking starting next week, it's going to be 5 days a week, podcast style. So tune in. My motto, tap in or miss out. This is your boy, Mel from Queens, from Mel from Queens Sports Talk, WGJSradio.com.
Time move here, Gary. Talk about elevating in Linker. Jermaine Griffin says, well, if Kobe can't do it, maybe it's my turn to take over. I'm the second leading scorer.